Oh, so he would be walking out essentially if after paperwork and all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed.
He could.
You could be released. Okay. All right. Have you had a chance to think about all of this? Something over here and then way over here is what could happen. But, or I'm sorry, here or here. But this is a choice you must make, nobody else.
So it put me on a burner to where I just had to work full time and be a full time dad. I
What stopped
literally
you from reporting? So
it's just the time frame when
No.
COVID happened. It switched from I think going up there
when
to
was the last
calling
time you reported?
Around COVID, like 2020.
I know.
Yes,
That's been 1,000 days. You
I
could
literally-
squeeze in on your busy schedule a little reporting.
I literally been working every day since then, Your Honor. Monday through Saturday, and I'm off on Sunday.
Who's been the supervisor on your probation?
Who's been my supervisor? Ms. Bruce.
No, you have been.
Oh,
You've been supervising your probation.
yes, sir.
They don't know where you are, who you are, what you're doing, anything about you. And if we've got 5,000 probationers, if everybody did that and thought, well, that's what I'm going to do, what Tremaine gets away with, please.
Welcome to another session in Judge Stevens' courtroom, where today's cases bring a mix of tough decisions and repeated offences. In the first case, a defendant is facing a critical choice after being offered a favourable deal by the prosecution. Judge Stevens, recognising the potential severity of the situation, takes time to emphasise the risks involved in opting for a trial. The defendant must decide whether to accept the plea bargain or take the gamble of facing a more significant sentence if the case proceeds to trial. Moving on to the second case, we encounter a serial absconder with a track record of neglecting probation requirements for over 3 years. Despite a multitude of excuses, Judge Stevens sees through the smoke and mirrors. The question now is whether the judge will decide to revoke the probation, sending the defendant to jail, or give him another chance. Stay to see how these cases pan out.
The state of Texas versus Alan Williams. You and Mr. Williams?
Yes, sir.
Present with your attorney, Mr. Burbank, and the state's attorney. You were charged here in this case with the second-degree felony of robbery. It carries with it, if convicted, no less than 2, no more than 20 years confinement in prison, and a fine up to $10,000 can also be assessed. Do you understand the punishment range you were facing? Go ahead.
We're set for trial. I want to put it on the record that the state has made an offer to settle this case. In the aggravated robbery charge, he's looking at no less than 15, no more than life.
Wait. He's charged with robbery, a second-degree felony.
There's 3 cases.
Stand by.
There's a robbery, aggravated robbery, and aggravated assault.
Yep. That robbery looks like the least of the problem. In 21-38004, you've also indicted with the second-degree felony of aggravated assault. However, and then you have this robbery, but it's not enhanced.
No, Your Honor. So we need to file a notice of enhancement on that.
Y'all intend to?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, until then, you're looking at a second-degree felony, but they're saying that they intend to add that if we're going to go to trial, which would up it to another first-degree felony punishment. So you're looking at 5 to life there. So all of these are a maximum of 3 life imprisonments on 3 separate dates, which could run consecutively on one on top of the other. But it's no less than 5, and 15 if all 3 of these you were found guilty. So those could be stacked on top of each other since they were different events on different dates. So you understand what you're facing here. Serious. Okay. Go ahead.
Your Honor, the state, for the record, I have to put it on the record.
Yes,
The
sir.
state has agreed, if he was to accept the plea, to dismiss the aggravated robbery, which is 15 to life. On the robbery charge, to 4 years TDC. And to the aggravated assault charge, 3 years. Which are less than the minimums on all of them that run currently. And in addition to that, Judge, it's my understanding that he has approximately 31 months credit while waiting for trial. And because of the offer, and the state now has given me notice that if it is not accepted this morning, they are withdrawing those offers. That I need to put it on the record in case something goes bad.
Okay. How long is he, sir?
He's been in jail since June 29th of 2021 without being released, but I'll check that.
Over 2 years?
Mhm.
Oh, so he would be walking out essentially if after paperwork and all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed,
He could.
you could be released. Okay. Right. Have you had a chance to think about all of this thoroughly and where you stand on all of this,
Well,
sir?
I was first told about this Friday.
Okay, so
And,
what are you
so-
saying? You need some time to think about it? I'll give you a little bit of time because this is a big choice. I mean, the disparity, the potential disparity because between what they are offering you and what could happen to you is astronomical. But if you want some additional time to think about it, I'll give you a week. But if you don't, that's okay with me. It's your life, your
Right.
choice. And like all of us, we are expected to know is what the options are. And then we each have free will. And those are your options, which are unusual because there's something over here and then way over here is what could happen. But, or I'm sorry, here or here. But this is a choice you must make, nobody else. You just need to convince me that you are making a conscious decision upon reflection, which way you want to go. Have you had enough time to think about it or not? And you can make it, you can tell me today, or we can come back in the
Now
future.
that you put it like that, it's like I think I will go with the wise decision.
What do you say?
I think I want to go with the wise decision and accept that offer.
Judge, he has 924 days credit.
Okay. Well, then write it up and we'll get it done.
You want to sit in the box?
Yes, sir.
Take care of it, Mr. Williams.
Just put these.
Thank you.
Well, all I need to know is this. Has he been an absconder for 3 years?
Yes, Your Honor, as far as.
Okay, he just walked off the job on a burglary of habitation, right? And because I'm looking at, I mean, I can add 2 and 2 together here, and it says April 1st, May, June 2020, and then it stops, and then there's a motion to revoke probation filed on June 22nd. So that's 3 anniversary date, almost 3 years, which meant he walked off the job.
In Your Honor, he had originally received a deferred in 2015
You know,
and then was placed on a straight probation in May 18th, 2019. And
okay.
March 18th. I apologize, March 18th.
Of what?
10 years probated for
No,
6 years.
no. How long was he on deferred probation? He was before we converted it.
He was on deferred from 2015 to
Yeah,
2019.
which makes, that's what I do. It's
About,
that's why it's 6 years probation. He got.
right, it was
credit
about
for
4.5 years he was on,
All right.
that he was on deferred. And he's been on regular probation now since 2019.
I want to
Little
know
over 4
about
years.
when they picked him up. When was he arrested? Does anybody know that? When did he finally get in custody?
It was 27 of last month.
May,
3 years.
May of
See,
26.
he's gone for 3 years. Oh, okay.
I think it's down.
Yeah, and how did that happen? You got arrested, right?
Oh, yes, sir.
You didn't turn yourself in because you have such a guilty conscience about it all. Somebody had to catch you.
I actually did.
Somebody had to catch you, right?
I was pulled over on a traffic violation.
Okay, and then they had it in the
Let me go.
computer.
He let me go because he didn't run anything. He just gave me a warning from a speeding ticket. But I actually told him what was going on with probation, and he took me in and brought me down because I was in front of my house when he pulled me over. So
Well,
since I was so close, he
Well,
gave
they
me a
got you.
warning.
The thing was everything was, you were exposed now. They know who you were. They know where you live. Everything had now collapsed. The house had fallen on top of you. You weren't going anywhere. They got you. It was just a matter of time. But you didn't turn yourself in. This is the thing. You had 3 years to do it. How many days is 3 years? Over 1,000. 1,000 days. Any of those days, 1,000 days go by, and it never bothered you enough to go, you know, there's a warrant out for me. I just can't live with this. I've got such a conscience that is bothering me, but it didn't bother you.
He did.
Yeah, that's why you turned yourself in within those 1,000 days. What do you want to do?
We're ready to proceed.
All right. In 15-22743, does the defendant and your Tremaine Celestin,
Yes, sir.
and raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm any statement you make today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Lower your hands. Does the defendant waive a formal reading of this? Can we proceed in summary?
Yes, sir.
In summary, this states that on May 18th, 2019, you were sentenced to 10 years in probation, 10 years imprisonment, probated for 6 years for burglary of a habitation. Do you understand what you're charged with here?
Yes, sir.
Allegation number 1 states that you failed to report to the probation office on or about April 1st, May 6th, May 13th, May 20th, June 2nd, and June 10th of 2020 in violation of your probation order. Is that true or untrue?
True.
Are you pleading true to that voluntarily and because it is true?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand by pleading true that is enough? Voluntary and knowing plea of true is enough to grant this motion to revoke probation by a preponderance of the evidence or greater.
Yes, sir.
Your probation can be revoked. You can be sentenced to no less than 2, no more than 10 years confinement in prison. Knowing that, do you insist on pleading true today?
Yes, sir.
I find you pleading true voluntarily. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading true. Okay, go ahead.
Well, Your Honor, again, he's been on some sort of probation since 2015. He reported, since he's been placed on regular probation, he reported, I think, pretty well for about a year. And then COVID struck. And if you'll note the dates that he failed to report began with the onslaught of the bad COVID stuff locally. He advises me that he got out of the habit of reporting, did not follow through with it, and realized that he needs to do that. In his favor, we have no new offenses other than this failure to report. He has a job and he's been successfully working and doing well. We're asking the court to hold this in abeyance, let him continue on probation and be a good citizen, with an admonishment that he needs to start reporting again regularly.
Your Honor, the statement just argued that defendant was given a chance by being placed on straight probation. We just asked for 7 years TDC, Your Honor.
Anything you want to say, sir?
When it all started, the reason I stopped reporting because my fiance, she became real ill. She's been having major surgeries every year since 2019. So it put me on a burner to where I just had to work full time and be a full time dad. I
What stopped you
literally,
from reporting? So
it's just the time frame. When
No.
COVID happened, it switched from, I think going up there
when
to
was the last
calling
time you reported?
around COVID, like 2020.
I know.
Yes,
That's
sir.
been 1,000 days. You
I
couldn't
literally-
squeeze in on your busy schedule,
I-
a little reporting?
I literally been working every day since then, Your Honor. Monday through Saturday, and I'm off on Sunday.
Who's been the supervisor on your probation?
Who's been my supervisor? Ms. Bruce.
No, you have been.
Oh,
You've been supervising your probation.
yes, sir.
They don't know where you are, who you were, what you're doing, anything about you. And if we've got 5,000 probationers, if everybody did that and thought, well, that's what I'm going to do, what Tremaine gets away with, please, we wouldn't have a job, really. 85% of the people on probation do fine, follow the rules and report regularly and do what they have to do. And this is serious. Somebody's home, you burglarize somebody's home and stole stuff. Big screen TV, just all for them. All right, anything else?
No, sir.
Nothing further.
If nothing further, I'm going to find there is sufficient evidence supporting this motion to revoke probation to grant it by a preponderance of the evidence or since, or greater, since allegation one has been proven true. Your probation is revoked. You have already been found guilty of the second-degree felony, sentenced originally or most recently when your probation was revoked the first time, and you were then found guilty. And what were you revoked the first time for when you were placed on deferred? Because I know the answer to this. I just want everybody to know it. Failing to report. Yeah. So you know how important this was. Your probation is revoked, sir, and you are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 7 years. I think the states. You got a problem with that? Maybe you shouldn't burglarize people, and maybe when you're placed on probation twice, you ought to follow the rules. You have a problem because you want your rules to be followed. Everybody on this planet has to follow rules. That's so we don't infringe on other people like you have done illegally. If you don't like that, we can sentence you up to 10 years. Well, I'm looking at this pre-sentence report, and at the beginning, it looked like you were going to be success on this because you said all the right things. You just don't do the right things. We don't have to. We're not going to run around and catch 5,000 people. You've got to follow the rules. But you were put on notice the first time you were revoked. You were put on notice this is serious. And for 3 years, 1,000 days, not any of those days did you feel compelled with your conscience to come in and say, y'all are looking for me and I'm going to do the right thing because I'm bothered. Sir, this is what we call justice. And that's what we're supposed to have for everybody. And you, by your poor actions, set examples as well for others. Don't do this. It has consequences. Yeah, you probably, the sad thing is you probably are able to. You just don't want to.
Yeah, I do.
You made choices, the same wrong choices.
I just
That we put you on probation, that we put you on notice for.
And
And if you can't do anything, you got to report, because if you don't, you're not on probation. You're not supervised. And without supervision, you will fail.
All comments, viewpoints, interpretations, and insights expressed in this video are for education and entertainment purposes. All individuals featured in the video are to be presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Please do not attempt to contact, locate, or engage with any individuals featured in the video.